Hey guys, you're watching Cutie Crafts. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas Eve. Today I'll be showing you some really last minute DIY Among Us Christmas crafts. It's Christmas Eve and tomorrow will be Christmas, so this really is a last minute DIY, and I made these overnight so they're not too hard and they're really cute to give out as gifts even if the holidays just passed by the time you're watching this. This is my last video for 2020 and I'm sorry I couldn't post it sooner, but at least I made one more video for the end of this year. I hope you guys are able to try it out, and let's get started with the designs. First, I'm making the Santa mini bead sprite that will go on my Christmas card. I use art cow beads for my mini bead sprites, and you can check out the description box with links to all of the supplies. It's always easier to start with the black outline of the sprite, and this is the venting Santa imposter. For all my designs, I kind of just eyeball it, and I found this picture of the venting Santa, and I tried to move the beads around until I was satisfied with how it looks. And I think this is as accurate as I can get it. It looks just like it's trying to jump into a vent, or in our case, a chimney. Next, it's the ironing process where we'll be fusing all of these beads together, but first I'm using just some regular Scotch tape and taping over all of the beads. Flip the pegboard over so that all of the beads come off and we don't iron our precious pegboards. I'm using my ironing film to give Santa a shiny finish, and my setting is on silk, the lowest one, so that I don't over iron. It's better to go slow and steady, and it takes around 30 to 40 seconds for one side to completely fuse. Then I flip it to the other side, gently peel the tape off, and then iron the other side with another piece of ironing film. Once all the beads are fused, I like to keep a heavy textbook on top of the sprite as it cools so that I make sure it stays flat. And there he is, a shiny Santa, but he still needs his chimney. If you didn't get a chance to make the Christmas card and Christmas is already over, again, I'm so sorry this video is so late, I also wanted to include a Happy New Year's card. Out of all of the different holiday hats that you can wear in the game right now, I think the multicolored lights headband fits the New Year's card the most because it's not too Christmassy. And in my neighborhood, we don't really take down our Christmas lights right away after the New Year. We keep them on for a pretty long time, and probably until Chinese New Year is the latest that we'll keep them on. The great thing about the tape method is that you can reposition the beads and put them in an angled position, which you wouldn't be able to do on the pegboard. Once these crewmate beans are all ironed and super shiny, they are ready to go onto a card. Making the card is really simple. All you have to do is open up a document maker. It can be Microsoft Word, Google Docs, whatever works for you. But I'm on Microsoft Word right now, and I have my document on landscape, and then margins are narrow. The setting on 2 columns. If you want to see the line that's right in the middle of the paper, then you can also set it to that, but I prefer not to have that printed out. First, I have my New Year's card, and all I did was write "Fix the lights" in this font called Modern Love, size 48. This is the front of the card, and I will stick my mini bead character right on top of these words. And then inside the card, I just wrote, "It's time to celebrate a new year, 2021. Hopefully next year will be a little better than this year." And of course, if you're looking to make a last minute Christmas card, this is the Santa Christmas card. It was inspired by this picture that I saw on Twitter. I thought it was pretty clever, so I wanted it to be a Christmas card version, and I just wrote Santa vented, and then inside the card it says "Merry Christmas, you filthy liar, and a Happy New Year." And now I just have to print these 2 documents double-sided on my cardstock. I used my shiny metallic cardstock that I bought from Walmart a while ago, and I will leave a link to some cardstock that you can find online as well. After folding them in half, these are looking like pretty legit cards, and we just have to place the mini bead sprites on the front cover. I'm using a glue dot to stick this blue Among Us crewmate onto the front, and Santa looks like he's just about to vent into somebody's home. Since the New Year's card says fix the lights, I thought it would be better to shade the background so that it looks like somebody just sabotaged the lights. And that's how you make your own Among Us holiday cards. Next, I'm making some crewmate ornaments for my Christmas tree. I can never have too many ornaments, and this one will go onto my white Christmas tree that I just got this year, and it is completely Among Us themed and currently filled with some crochet plushies of the different colored crewmates. Since these are the regular midi-sized beads, I have my iron set on the polyester setting. I wanted the ornaments to have a matte finish on the beads, so I used regular ironing paper or parchment paper to fuse all the beads together. I'm totally comfortable with ironing directly on the pegboard because I've done this so many times, but if you are new at ironing perler beads, then I do recommend you use the tape method to get the hang of it first. If you've been subscribed for a while, I'm sure you've seen me iron my projects so many times and you probably skip over these parts, but to anybody who's new here, I recommend you check out my ironing video too. Another festive hat that you can wear in the game during this season is the reindeer antlers, and oh boy, let me tell you what I learned about antlers. In reindeer, both the male and females have antlers, and it's usually the male who sheds their antlers before the wintertime. Females shed them in the springtime, so way after Christmas, and they just fall off their head. But before that happens, the reindeer have to shed their velvet, which is a soft tissue that surrounds their antlers. When this happens, it looks like the reindeer was attacked or it got in some huge fight because its antlers are all red and there's skin just drooping off of them. But don't worry, the reindeer is not hurt. It's a natural process. It's just not a very pretty one. At least this crewmate isn't shedding its antlers and still has them for Christmas, which means it must be a girl. Once I cut out a piece of string and tie it around the crewmate, it is now a brand new ornament to add to my tree. In my last Among Us video, I included a mini crewmate pet, and in this video, I have the hamster pet that you see in its little hamster ball. To turn this into an ornament, I got some fishing string and tied a knot at the end, put it through one of the beads. For this DIY to work, you'll have to have this clear ornament ball, and I found these at the dollar store. This hamster will just be floating in the middle of the ball, and I secured the string with some hot glue. Close little hamster into the ball and cut off the excess fishing string. Finally, just tie a loop of twine around the ornament, and that is a hamster in a ball Among Us pet. Back to using mini beads. This is the candy cane hat. I didn't want to make another keychain or magnet again with this, so I decided to turn this into a gift tag that you can attach to your presents. And I want to mention specifically that I used ironing film again for this to get a shiny finish, mostly because with shiny finishes, I found that you can write on it with dry erase marker and then wipe it off with tissue. It works just like a whiteboard. If you spend Christmas with only your close family like I usually do, then you can recycle it over years and write different people's names on it. Instead of placing a sticker onto a gift, this Crewmate tag is a gift in itself. All you have to do is get some tape and slap it on the box. Let's bring this over to the tree. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I will be making an updated Perler Bead and craft collection for 2020, but I'll probably post that in 2021, so stay tuned for that. Make sure to like, comment your favorite Among Us Christmas hat, and subscribe if you are new. Hopefully next year we can reach 50,000 subscribers. I will see you guys in 2021 with another KeyCat. Bye! Modern, chic, gamer mode. I'm not a gamer.